where yes, eventually I'll show you a different approach because inevitably we'll set up a callback help, and you'll see that in a second. So what I would want to do right now when I get back my first text file, well, now of course I would want to assign it to some kind of variable, and then I would want to read that second file, right? And then eventually, once I read the second file, then of course I would want to create that new file. And the way it's gonna look like, I'm gonna go with const and I'll say first, and you can name it first text. I'm just gonna go with first, and this will be equal to my result. Okay, awesome. And then right after that result, again, I'm gonna go with read file, and then the same thing. We provide a path, so we go with content, and then in this case, of course, we're looking for second and then txt. Then we need to provide the encoding, so Node knows how to decode that, and we go with UTF-8, and then of course we need to provide our callback. Again, same deal. We go with error and result, and in order to speed this up, I will copy and paste. So just grab everything starting with if and ending with result, copy and paste. Again, this is the case where we're checking for the error first. If there is an error, we console log it. And if everything is successful, we assign this one to the second one. And then eventually now I'd want to set up my write file. So again, it is a function. We need to provide that value. And we already have result sync txt. That's why I'll create a new one and I'll call this result and async. So again, we're looking for the content. Then we go with the file name, which is going to be result and async and txt. Of course, since there is no file, Node will create that for us. I'll right away set up my data. Now, if you want, of course, you can copy and paste this functionality. This is totally up to you, where basically we use two of them. And in my case, this is exactly what I'm going to do in order to speed this up. If you want to create something from the scratch, of course, that is also an option. And I'm just going to copy and paste. That's my template string. And again, if you want to add this flag, you can definitely do so. In my case, I'm just going to omit that. So here's the result. I have first and second. And the reason why I have access to them, because of course, I'm looking in the outside scope of this callback function. And then again, we have a callback function in the write file. I know there's tons of callback functions. That's why we'll have to set up a better setup when we're handling these callbacks, but we'll do that a little bit later. So for now, let's just add a comment here where we have first parameter, second parameter, and then the third parameter. And of course, this is going to be again our callback where we have error and result. And then inside of this callback, finally, we can take a look at the value. And of course, the value will be in this result. Now, of course, we're creating the file and all that, but hopefully you get the gist that if you would be doing something where you're looking for this result, of course, it would be over here. So again, let's check for error quickly. If there is an error, then of course, I would want to return as well as console log the error just in case. And if everything is correct, let me just console log the result. So save it here. And two things we need to watch out for. Maybe there's an error. And second one, we should create a new file by the name of result and then async txt. Let me clear the console and we're going to run node app.js. And I do get an error. And error simply tells me that I did not add the dot in front of the content. So I would need to go back to write file and just add dot. And once we add the dot, we are going to be in good place where I'll clear the console and I'll run one more time node app.js. And then the result will be undefined. Okay, that's fine. Like I said, in this case, we're not expecting anything back. But what's really cool that in the result async, we should have our text. Here is the result. Hello, this is first text and then the second text. So hopefully it is clear. This is how we would use the async pattern. So let me zoom out right now here and you'll see this famous callback hell. And in the next video, I would want to give you a brief description of what are the differences between the asynchronous approach or non-blocking approach and the blocking one, the synchronous one, as well as what are the alternatives to this callback help. All right. And